Hi, I am Miller Rogen from HFC. I'm so excited about what we're doing today. I'm joined by Joy Bauer from the Today Show and chef and nutritionist extraordinaire. I'm so thrilled to have Joy here with us today to make some blueberry recipes. For those of you who don't know, she's the nutrition and healthy lifestyle expert for the Today Show and the host of NBC's Health and Happiness. Fun fact, she's also the nutritionist for the New York City Ballet. That is so cool. She's also the creator of joybauer.com and the #1 New York Times bestselling author with 14 bestsellers to her credit. That's wild. Her latest book, Joy Bauer's Superfood, 150 Recipes for Eternal Youth, features delicious dishes to enhance health, boost energy, and increase longevity. And I don't know who doesn't want to do that. So we're here to talk about blueberries. We're going to make some yummy stuff. Joy, I'm so excited you're here with me. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Hey, Lauren, it is so great to be here with you and welcome to my kitchen. And we certainly have an ambitious schedule planned. Lots of yumminess, so I hope you're hungry.
You know, we at HFC are really focused on teaching everyone how to keep their brains healthy. And a big aspect of that is nutrition. You may have heard that blueberries are really good for brain health, and they are. Wild blueberries versus blueberries. I feel like a lot of people, including myself, didn't really know that there's a difference between wild blueberries and regular blueberries. Did you know that?
So I actually did know that, and all blueberries have a specific antioxidant called anthocyanins. And anthocyanins are particularly important for brain health. They help to slow down age-related cognitive decline. They could boost memory and focus. So blueberries are incredibly awesome. But wild blueberries have about 30% more of a concentration in these anthocyanins. So whenever you can work wild blueberries into recipes, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today, the more the better.
And they also have more of an intense flavor, right? Because of how much the antioxidants and the dark color, right? And just they're much more natural, so the flavor really packs a huge punch, right?
It's all about that purple hue. And I'm also going to warn you, my fingers are about to become very purpley because the purple color tends to bleed into the dishes, which is so beautiful and vibrant. And I'm going to show you, we're going to start with these sheet pan pancakes, and you really get almost like this tie-dye color throughout the pancake, which is really cool. Normally when it comes to pancakes, you're standing over the hot stove and you're flipping one batch after the other. And so what happens is inevitably the first few batches become cold, or you start serving people and then nobody's eating at the same time. And if they are, then, you know, some of them are cold, some of them are hot. And then sometimes you go for the flip and you get a flop. So this is one of these sort of surprising ways to make a great big batch of pancakes all at the same time. And I'm calling this sheet pan pancakes because we're actually going to make them on a sheet pan. We're going to cook them off in the oven, and I think these are going to change your life. And you can do all sorts of things with it. I'm going to show you my own whole grain healthy pancake batter, but really people can do this with a boxed mix if they want. I would just say just go for a whole grain, one of the healthier boxed mix if you can. Preheat your oven to 425.
425, got it.
Yeah, 425. Start with the dry ingredients. So I'm gonna put this over here. And you know, you really do want to separate out your dry ingredients and your wet ingredients. And people always say, like, it's nice to be able to beat the system and just put everything into one bowl. But when you do that, you sometimes don't get an even mix of the dry ingredients, and you don't want clumps in your pancake batter. So we are gonna separate them out, and I'm starting with a whole grain. So this is a whole wheat flour, and I'm gonna put this in, and it is 1.5 cups. And I'm mixing it with 1.5 cups of an all-purpose flour. So why wouldn't Joy Bauer do all whole wheat? And the reason is, Lauren, I tested it with all whole wheat, and the pancakes weren't as fluffy as I wanted them to be. So I think this is like a really nice compromise. Half whole wheat and half all-purpose. And these bake, by the way, in just 15 minutes.
Oh my God, I'm so
very,
excited.
very simple. So simple. And so next I'm adding in 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder. And then just 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. And that's it for the dry ingredients. But you do want to make sure that you stir them up and you get everything nicely combined.
Okay. It's just so much easier when you measure everything ahead of time and then just dump it in.
And one other thing I just want to mention, because this is all about brain health, and I love so much that you're, out there and you're just really, making people aware of all of the things that they could do to increase their brain health and minimize the risk of issues as we get older, because you are what you eat, and food is so powerful. And when you eat the right foods in the right combinations, wow, you can make such a difference in your overall health.
Absolutely. And science tells us that Alzheimer's starts in the brain decades before you see any symptoms. And that's exactly why nutrition plays such a huge role in keeping your brain healthy. And you're never too young to start. And so kids love pancakes. You can make them healthy. You can make them good for your brain. And so nutrition is such a key ingredient, food pun, that helps your brain. So anyway.
So true. Well, major kudos to you. So thank you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for helping us.
So now with the wet ingredients, I'm starting with 3 eggs, and I've lightly beaten them. Now the cool thing about eggs, first of all, we're packing protein into this pancake batter. Normally pancake batters are all like white, junky, refined starch. They're delicious, but they don't have a whole lot of goodness to them. So now we've added a lot of protein. Eggs also have choline in the yolk, and choline is a neurotransmitter that helps to regulate mood and memory, amongst other things contributing to brain health. So eggs are really important. You also get a little bit of vitamin D, and D helps to boost our immune system. We've heard a lot about D throughout COVID, and that's housed in the yolk as well. So next I'm adding in, this is just a 1/2 cup of unsweetened applesauce. And I'm using this instead of using butter. Yep. It's gonna help make them nice and moist and fluffy.
Cool.
And I'm adding in 2.5 cups of, I have almond milk here, but whatever milk you have in your fridge. I love oat milk, I like almond milk, I like soy milk, I like skim milk, all the milks, whatever milk you like is gonna work.
I feel like I'm on a cooking show when I lay everything out and all I do is pour it back in.
So I'm gonna use a little sweetener for these. And what's nice about this is you don't even need to put maple syrup on top. So I'm putting in a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. And if anybody wants to leave it out, or if they're sugar sensitive and they want to use a sugar substitute, you could do that as well. I always say you are the boss of your sauce. You can make any tweaks or changes that you want. And then last but not least, I'm going to be adding in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And what I find, I put vanilla extract in so many things because it adds a lot of sweet flavor without adding sugar. Just stir this up so we have our wet ingredients, and then we're going to add our dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Mm-hmm. And we are going to add it into the wet ingredients. A lot of times people will say to add the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. The reason I tend to like to add the dry ingredients into the wet so that we don't lose any of the wet. Sometimes it tends to stay in the bowl, and this way we get it all in. It's easier to get the dry ingredients out.
Yeah, very smart.
Okay, I'm gonna mix this up, and you want to keep mixing until you don't have any more dry streaks, and that way you'll know that all the flour is incorporated. And you're gonna see some clumps. So what you do is try to smash some of the larger clumps around the side of the bowl to break it up, but really small little clumps throughout is going to be fine. What I'm going to do in the spirit of brain health and wild blueberries, I'm going to work in about 1/2 cup of blueberries. Mine are they were frozen, but you could sort of see some of the juice. They're starting to defrost a little bit, and you could just throw the whole thing in. I don't want to do more than 1/2 cup in here because when they start to melt, I think it's going to change the liquid amount, and I want the pancake to really fluff up. So we are going to decorate the top with more wild blueberries, but for the inside, we're just going to add in about 1/2 cup. And wait until you see how purpley your batter is going to become.
Can I just say already it smells really good. We haven't cooked anything, and just the the vanilla and the maple syrup and just like.
Look at this purple color. Can you see that?
Yeah, same.
Oh my gosh. I'm feeling like Grateful Dead, psychedelic. What I'm gonna do is take a baking sheet, and it's definitely, now let me tell you a little bit about this baking sheet. So it's a standard baking sheet that's about 13 by 18 inches, standard. But the most important thing is that you want that little lip on top, because you don't want the batter to spill out. And because you also don't want the pancakes to stick, I give it a real liberal spray with non-stick oil.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I do this, and then
Watch first.
you're gonna go for it. So here I go. The whole entire batter, I'm gonna put it nice and low so it doesn't splat. And then you pour it in, it'll fit beautifully. So this is what I'm gonna tell you. When it goes into the oven, it's gonna puff a little bit, but not so much. So just keep an eye. You don't want it
flowing, but
filled up. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And you might be able to, even with a smaller one, Lauren, you might be able to get away with all the batter in there. You'll see.
Close. It's close.
And now I just take my spatula and I'm leveling it out. If you see any big clumps, you could sort of use your spatula and chop them up.
I feel pretty good about my clumps.
Oh, good. Okay. And now it is time to decorate.
Ooh, okay.
So I have here, let's see. I have my wild blueberries. I have strawberries. I have bananas. I have all sorts of nuts. So I have pecans, walnuts, and pistachios. And I also have dark chocolate chips. In my house, we love a sprinkling of dark chocolate chips on top.
Oh, okay. I got some of those too.
And so what we do now is you decorate, you become the Picasso of your pancake. You can decorate however you'd like. There's like no wrong turn, just go to it, and then we're gonna compare.
I mean, I feel like I just want to be fun with it.
I'll do like 4 or 5 columns. So this way, you know, people can sort of choose when they come out what flavor they're in the mood for. So for me, the first column I'm putting on is going to be the wild blueberries.
I'm just, I'm being more Picasso and I'm putting it everywhere.
Amazing.
Not being organized.
All right. So last weekend, my son had a big party and a lot of people slept over. And this was like the easiest thing to make because I made a couple of sheets of these.
Oh my God.
And I actually did one with a gluten-free flour because there were a few gluten-free people in the house. And I did one just like I just walked you through. And it was so perfect because all of them were like cutting squares of the sections that they wanted.
Right. It's really gone very fast. Like, this,
yeah. And again, it's gonna be 15 minutes in the oven. That's
exactly.
it.
You don't have to stand there over the stove like making the pancakes. You're just gonna pop them in the oven.
That's the best part. The best part. And the other thing about the nuts, when you put the nuts on, I would suggest putting raw nuts, not toasted, because when they go in the oven, they're automatically gonna toast. And so, you know, when we talk about these other elements, bananas are loaded with potassium, and potassium is like the anti-sodium. Anything salty or high in sodium draws in water, which means that it could elevate your blood pressure, which is bad for brain health. Bananas help to flush out extra water and helps to manage your blood pressure so that, again, it only enhances your brain health.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, anything that helps with circulation and blood pressure and your arteries, you know, is going to be very productive for your brain as well.
Yeah, what's good for your heart is good for your brain.
So true. And so now we talk about the nuts. So, you know, there's not a nut that I don't like. Nuts are loaded with heart healthy fat, the monounsaturated fat, and they have a little bit of fiber as well, and a small amount of protein. But depending upon what nut you select. So if we were going to select pistachios have something called plant stanols, which is a type of fiber that helps to lower your bad cholesterol. So again, if you are cleaning out the arteries, if it's good for the heart, it's good for the brain. If we select, like I'm going to select walnuts. Walnuts have those omega-3 fats.
Really good. Yeah.
Walnuts are fantastic for brain health.
Yeah.
And so omega-3 fats, they could help the neurotransmitters in your brain communicate more effectively, but also it tames inflammation. So it's all good. And oh my gosh, I can't forget about pecans. Pecans are the nut of choice that are the most rich in antioxidants. So again, there's no wrong turn. We love nuts, and they're all carb, so it's really good for anybody that is looking to control their blood sugar.
Yours is a little bit more organized and pretty, but mine's kind of a party.
Oh, yours is.
Oh, it's filling.
That is a party. That is like a major pancake fiesta. I love it. So now this goes in the oven, set at 425 for just 15 minutes, and I'm going to show you what it comes out like.
Look at my fingers, by the way.
Oh, actually, I'm shocked that mine are. Oh, because I used a spoon.
I'm coming close to my computer so I can see it. Oh my God.
I pulled this one out of the oven, and I'm going to show you how easy now this will slice up into squares. So let me grab. So I have one that I just sliced up, and they're like these perfect little gorgeous squares. And you get to dive into, you see the blueberries? Let me show you the blueberries inside. Look at those little wild blueberries popping in.
Ooh, I'm so excited to eat this.
And so you could put anything you want on top. You could, I eat it straight up, or you could do like a little drizzle of maple, or you know what you could also do? This might sound a little crazy coming from a nutritionist, but a squirt of aerated whipped cream with, again, like some more wild blueberries on top. So there's a lot of ways that you can serve or you can enjoy them. And one of the other great assets of this, you can then wrap up the individual, let me see, the little squares, and you can either keep them in the refrigerator or I freeze them. And then straight from the freezer, I just microwave them for 30 seconds. And then on hectic mornings, you've got a homemade breakfast. Ta-da!
Amazing.
Yeah.
How cool and delicious. Sorry, excuse my face, but my pancakes are ready, and oh my God.
I can't wait for you to show us. Show us the pancakes.
Show the camera. Can you see this? Oh my God. It looks amazing.
Okay, Lauren, you did a fabulous job, and I love your decor.
Oh my God.
Look at the blueberries in the middle.
Look at this.
Oh my God, it's great.
Normally I would just use my hands, but since we're doing this, I'm gonna use a fork and get grown up. Oh my God.
Perfect.
It's really good.
And again, it's so easy to freeze them.
Mm-hmm.
Any morning when you're running late, you just take it out of the freezer, pop it in the microwave for 30 seconds, done.
Joy, this is so good. Oh, I love it. Okay, I won't just stand here and eat it, but. Okay, so if you're watching and you want to try this at home, make sure you visit the link in the description to download the free Wild Blueberries Cognition Kitchen Guide, which features HFC and exploring more brain foods like seafood, nuts, and so much more. And of course, follow Joy for amazing recipes and nutritional tips and how to keep yourself and your brain and all of it healthy. Follow HFC, follow Wild Blueberries, buy Wild Blueberries to keep your brain healthy. All the handles will be in the description here. You can get the grocery lists and the recipe lists, and you can do all this yourself. And I hope that you do it because these were delicious and it'll keep your brain healthy. So again, Joy, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, you got it. And Lauren, the next date is you and I in my kitchen. Okay?
Yeah, I'm so there.
All right.
So there. Thank you.
You got it. Bye-bye.
Thank you to my dad, Sous Chef Scott, who's been off camera, who's helped me. I hope you enjoy these recipes.